What's up guys, Loresto here, V-Works, dropping some more Lowrider paint knowledge on you. Got something special for you here today, Cobalt Blue Yeti Cup. Today we're going to focus on tape fades, flake fades, and lace work, so kick back and enjoy the video. Doing a cup here for my girl. She wants a Yeti Cup patterns, Cobalt Blue. We're going with House of Color Cobalt Blue. And around the outside, she likes lace. I'm not a huge fan of lace unless it's just a little bit, but I did pick up this lace here. Let it focus here. But it's a lime line lace for airbrush stencil. I've used it once before on a skateboard. It works great. When you get your lace, you want to get something where you can see here the patterns, like here's flowers and leaves, but you want it where the paint can kind of go through. Some lace is real thick, and then it just has a hard time with the paint going through, so it won't come out as crisp or as nice. I got the LPH 80 here ready to go. That's what I'm going to use on the outside of this because it's a larger area. For the majority of this project here, it's a small project, really small, so I'll be using an airbrush for the fine lines. Got the Cobalt Blue mixed in, House of Color Cobalt Blue mixed in with Eurochem's Intercoat Clear. I put extra blue in there, made it extra strong, that way I won't have to use as many coats. And what I'll do here, I'm just going to do half and half on this. So I found two spots where it's not going to overlap as far as the lace, and I'm just going to put it in here and then let that dry and then go around the other side. So you can see like here the small areas that the lace is going to be on. Then I'll put the lace on this side, and then I'll do that side too. So when you put your lace on, you're going to want to kind of stretch it out. Make sure it's pulled nice and tight. That way the paint can get inside of the cracks and crevices and get a nice crisp pattern. You don't want to go sideways with your gun. You want to go straight on. So you're going to go straight on so that it shoots right through that lace and gets a nice crisp pattern. So here we go. I'll start here. And as you're doing this, you do not want to continue to stretch or move the lace. Once you've done that, you're going to have a nasty, ugly pattern. It's not going to look good. So it doesn't take real long. It doesn't take a lot of coats. We're just going to put this on here, and then when I paint the outside of it, the outside of the lace pattern, I will, and there I go stretching it there, but that's on the top. There'll be a shadow up there, so it's not really going to matter. It's looking nice and blue here. I'm going to let that flash off for just a moment, and then I'm going to put another coat on there, and that should be good to go. I'll bring you back when I do the other side. It's looking good. Got the lace down. I probably should have went a little lighter on the coats on this side and let it dry just a little bit, flash off some more, but it's going to look good. And now next up, what I'll do is I'll just put a few coats of blue on the outside of this, and that'll be the main color of the cup. Of course, the background of the cup, there's not a whole lot to it because most of it's taken up by patterns. So I'll put the little bit of blue on here, just probably maybe 2, maybe 3 coats because I don't want to block out the lace too much, but I just want the lace to barely be seen in the background when the sun hits it. Bring in tight and close, that way you can actually get a look at it. So there we are. I'll try slower. That's how it looks. It's just a little bit of light lace. If you wanted it to be a little more dominant in your pattern as far as the lace goes, you could hit this with some black and then go over it with whatever color you're using, and that would make it a little more sharp and crisp. Here's where we're at on the shadowing so far. Just lightly here, going around some of the bigger patterns while it's taped off. And for the shadowing today, usually I'll mix a little bit of black in with the color. This is a dark color though, so I don't think it's really gonna matter as far as me using Lime Lines Candy Black. So that's what I used for the shadowing on this small little project. So I left this one here, this little pattern here, long and blank. and a lot of space on purpose. I'm just gonna paint it a solid candy cobalt blue, and then we are going to do some flake fades on here. So stay tuned if you wanna learn how to do these small flake fades. It'll work out good for small projects, skateboards, pedal cars, model cars, RC cars, that kind of stuff. 3 coats, and then I tightened up the gun a little bit where it was more narrow, and then just went around the edge here with 1 extra coat just to give it a little bit of shade and depth around the inside. And now when you pull your tape, of course you see here I didn't tape all the way around. This is a small project, I'm using small airbrush most of the time, so I'm not worried about overspray getting on the rest of the project. I'll just hit this. By the time any of that overspray goes around, I'll wipe it down, and then it's not gonna stick to it. So I'll just, when you peel this, always peel towards the point. You don't wanna grab this end where the point is and pull on that. Otherwise, there's a good chance it will pull your tape lines up. Then you gotta try to get it back on there, and it just takes extra time. A tape fade. So there's gonna be a difference between a tape fade and a flake fade. The tape fade, we are just gonna put these lines of tape here, and then I'm going to take the center one here, peel it up. Of course, the bottom to the top, so I don't pull my point up here, and then I'll skip one, go to the next, and then continue on. So there we go. Just like that. And what I'm gonna do, let me bring you in closer here. So next, I'll take my paint gun and I'll go along the outside, just the top and the bottom. Of course, I'll do both sides here. And then I'll put a couple, maybe 2 coats on there just to give it a little shade of blue there. And then I will pull this, and then I'll go over it just a little bit here with a little more blue, and then you'll see the tape fade on the top and the bottom. And what I'll do after that, I'll go along the outside of the lines with some more blue. I'll tighten up my gun, get it just a little line, go around the outside tape lines with the more blue, make it darker, and then it'll give it just a different look. So that's a tape fade. Later on, right here, around the front, I'll show you how to do the flake fade. Figured I'd bring you in here and show you what I was talking about, not just tell you. So I just put a little more or bigger tape here around the outside edges, just so I don't get any heavy overspray on there. And then right here, I'll start here. And I'm just hitting the bottom of the actual pattern, not the tape. So if you see there, hitting the bottom there, try to stay out of your way so you can see what I'm doing. Hitting the bottom straight up, just like that. And then I'll do the same thing here on the top. So I hope you're enjoying this. I know I just did a cup, and some of you are probably wanting to see something else. My fridge video is out there. That's a little bigger project for you. If you haven't seen that, you might want to take a peek at it. It's a good one. Put a little bit of time and effort into it. So that's what that's going to look like right now. I'm going to let it flash off just a second. Pulled the tape. That's where we're at. It kind of looks like someone's going to get their house sprayed on a Tim Burton film. But once we hit this outside here, the outside lines, the same way. Got a little cut off there, ran out of space on the memory card. Anyways, where we're at here, I just went over right here, the line with a little bit more blue. That way it kind of fades together and doesn't look so harsh, I guess, or not smooth, or doesn't flow very well. But here we go. Got rid of that Tim Burton gas house. Now that this pattern here is done, while this is taped up, this next pattern here underneath, I'm gonna go ahead and shade this. And again, here are one of those tape lines here that I'm not gonna wanna just shade over. So I will pull the tape lines here, and then I'll shade that. Next pattern here underneath, I went with something similar to the top as far as tape fades go, but it's not exactly the same, which will break it up a little bit. This one's gonna kind of curve in, kind of like the fingerprint type designs that you see, but not exactly. We'll do it almost exactly the same way that we did up here. We're just gonna go around with the blue, except we won't go down here this time. We're just gonna go right around this outside with some blue, take the tape off, then go outside one more time with the blue, and then we'll leave it a little brighter down here. The only thing that'll break that up will be the black shadowing that's gonna go around this middle pattern here. As you're putting down your coats, yes, you're putting down really light coats and it's gonna dry pretty fast, but I'll say this, it is 60 degrees outside here where I am in Missouri today, and I've got this little old heater going, which doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. So it's probably 65, close to 70 in here. I'm using a fast reducer, and you will want to make sure this flashes off. Make sure your paint flashes off before you put on the next coat. Otherwise, you're going to put down your clear, everything's going to seem fine, and there is a possibility where you're going to end up with solvent pop. So that's going to be, if you don't know, which a lot of you already might, that will be your solvents trying to evaporate. And when you put on that clear coat over your color, it's still going to want to evaporate out, and then it's going to leave little bubbles. Sometimes it just looks different sometimes, depending on what kind of solvent pop it is or how bad it is. And most of the time you cannot get rid of it. You just have to sand it all down and start over. I'm just gonna go around the line right here, the lines, with some white, some plain white, and then that will kill the flake and give it a different look. And then my friend Danny here gets to smell some of the fumes. He's just kicking back in the ride. That's what it looks like with the white behind it. You can't tell too much on camera. And I went ahead and did these two little parts that come out because they kind of go with that pattern there. But it will kill the flake, make it like a super bright blue. I'll try to get closer here. There you go. I pulled some tape lines off. Sorry I didn't make it all cool and pull the tape lines off for the video. It seems like every time I seem to do that, I don't pay attention to pulling the tape, and then I end up peeling a little bit of paint off somehow here in a corner or a point or something like that. So I went ahead, I like to be careful when I pull the tape off. When you do pull your tape off, make sure you are pulling it towards the point and you're pulling it flat down. You're not like pulling it up, pulling it over, none of that wacky stuff. You just want to grab the end, pull it flat down, and pull it towards the point. So what I do for my flake fades here is, depending on how much space you got, you're gonna use one fatter piece of tape in the middle, which I already peeled off, and then one small piece of tape on each side, which is gonna block the flake from hitting the paint. So that's where you're gonna see the paint. And then another piece of fat tape. Whoop, let me try not to pull that up there. We'll pull that down. And as you can see, that's where the flake fade, that's how it's gonna start to look. And then now I'm gonna get some tape here and I'll show you, but I'll make it come to a point, or you can do it upwards, is where you get creative and do whatever you want with the flake fade. This is how you make it your own. So I'm gonna do a point and then kind of round, since this kind of curves in, just to make it, change it up a little bit with the flake. The next step right here, you wanna get your tape, and what I do, curve it. I started at the top one, I did the top one here. Try to do your best to get the point directly in the center, and then you want to match up the curve so that it stops and connects with the other tape at just the same point. And then I did it a second time down here. We're gonna have two flake fades. And then what I'll do, I'll show you here in just a second, but I'll start with the flake fade down here. I'll tape off, mask off this top part, and then once I've sprayed a little bit of flake down here, I'll peel that tape up and then come up here and spray a little bit of flake there. I just put a big fat piece of tape right here and cut around, and I'll hit it with the gun from the top and kind of put the flake heavy down at the top here, and then let it get really light down at the bottom. And then I will peel this tape off, and then I've taped it off the same exact way up here. so it's ready to flake. As far as the outside flake fade, I did a little one. Remember, I did the 2 solid blue on the pattern right outside of the center one. This one's gonna come to a point since it's in the middle. The 2 outer ones will come to a point, but only on one side going towards the middle. So I just put a fat piece of tape directly in the middle, which is missing now, and then a piece of tape on each side, and then this tape that curves around, and then one in the middle. So wherever you don't see tape is where you're gonna see the solid blue, and then with the flake fade, I'll start up here. Of course, I'll have everything else masked off. That way I don't have flake all over the place. And then I will lightly hit it with the gun until it gets kind of heavy with flake down here and light down here. Got her all taped up, masked up, ready for the flake fade, the first stage of it. Like I said, I'll just hit it from the top here, heavier, let it go light down low, and then here, same thing. Then I will peel that off and then hit it on the second one, which looks exactly like this, and that's it. The flake fade will be done. I'll show you when I get done. As far as flake, for the flake fade, I'm using Tropical Glitz, and I'm using their Platinum .008. Usually I would use like a .015 or a .025 for a flake fade, but this is on a small cup, so I don't want to shoot some big heavy flake on there and have to shoot a whole ton of clear on it. So I got it in here in some Intercoat clear, and right there. Of course, I mixed it just like I would for full coverage. Put in enough flake where you mix it and it covers the stick when you pull it out. That's how she came out. Looks awesome. Once I start pulling those tape lines, I'll get you a better look and you'll see just how beautiful and awesome that'll make your paint job pop. But there we go, the flake fade on smaller objects. Like I said, you could do this on other small objects too, including this here, this bad boy, whenever I get to it, but it's all flaked up. It's a 1958 stool that I flaked out for the shop. But anyways, that's another project, another time, another video. Right now we're gonna concentrate on small objects and the flake fade. So there's this one. Now I'll just peel up this tape. Got a couple little tiny spots I need to fix. Other than that, the flake fade came out amazing. Let me get a close up for you here. Of course, after I shoot the clear on it, I will put it in the sun, let you see it there. And also you'll get to see this cobalt blue with all that silver flake underneath it. If you're enjoying these smaller videos, when I say smaller, I mean smaller objects that I'm painting. They're still just as detailed as a large project, but I know a lot of you are learning and you got smaller things to do like RC cars, model cars, skateboards, cups, whatever. Little things like this, they're good to practice on, good to tighten up that talent and keep it moving. I appreciate you all watching. Thanks. If you enjoyed this, think about maybe giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, think about maybe subscribing. I appreciate you all watching so far. Thanks. Let's hit this with some clear next. Here she is, the moment you've been waiting for. Got the clear on it, all of its glory. Still gonna have to sand it down, get all the line work sanded smooth, and then shoot a couple more coats of clear on it. But there it is. I think it came out beautiful. The flake fades are by far some of my best work on the tiny stuff. On little flake fades, they're a lot harder to do. But I hope you all learned something. I hope you enjoyed this video. I sure appreciate all the new subscribers and everyone tuning into the channel. There's definitely gonna be more to come. I got this pedal car over here. Eventually, I plan on doing this here, the convertible. That's gonna be after I finish the stroller, and then the pedal car will be after I do the actual car. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you. God bless.